All right. Gonna kick this off here. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Inferno Fox Gaming. I am, of course, Fox. And we're starting off a semi-new series here called What Are We Even Doing Here? And what are we doing here is the epitome of the YouTuber angst that fellow creators such as myself have for some of the ridiculous decisions that a lot of these video game companies tend to do, and as many of my fellow creators just seem to cry, what are we doing here? And in this instance, I just want to take some time just to have a discussion with you guys about Xbox. And this is, of course, live. I do not have this scripted. I have a little bit of notes on just some general Xbox news, but to tell you guys and prove to you guys that this is or was recorded live, yeah, you're going to be getting a lot of ums and uhs, and I'll always appreciate you guys checking this out and saying hey and what's up. In this instance, let's go ahead and kick things off here in regards to our friends Microsoft and the craziness that they had regarding the Game Pass. Oh man, I almost can't believe this, but the live. It shows how old I am. See, my time with Xbox, my best friend and roommate got the OG Xbox, and then both he and myself got Xbox 360s. So when we had to get the whole, when we got into the whole Xbox experience, it really was something that was special for the time. I mean, again, guys, I'm an old dog, so what I've got experience-wise is really just those two systems. I felt like Microsoft was losing the plot when it came to Xbox One and the forced Kinect, but fast forward to 2025, just last month, Xbox is increasing the price, and yeah, October 1st, and they once again change the tiering levels of the Game Pass, where we have the Essential, we've got the Premier, and we've got the Ultimate tiers, and it's really with that $10 Essential, $10 a month Essential for online console gaming. You pretty much get that, a couple games and whatnot. With Premier, you get 200 plus games, but you got to pay $15 a month, and you no longer get day one games. Instead, you are basically guaranteed to get a new release within the first 12 months of these games coming out. The huge caveat being the fact that, those games, Call of Duty is exempt, and the little trailer that they had that exemption on it. And the Ultimate tier, which is essentially what the Game Pass was before, was $20. It is now $30, and you get 500 plus games and the day one titles such as like Ninja Gaiden 4 and Keeper and stuff that just came out within the last week or two, which is pretty cool. But $30 a month or $360 a year in celebration of the 20-year anniversary of the 360. $360, $360. There you guys go. My thing with this is, what are we doing here? Especially the fact that Essential tier, you're paying $10 a month to play online. PC gamers don't have to pay any money to play online. In fact, to that end, the PC Xbox Game Pass increased from $12 to $16.50 a month. And they're not paying for online play or anything like that. Why is that even still a thing? Like, it was something that Xbox, via Xbox Live, again, old dog, I remember that, you had to pay to play online. And then Sony's like, ooh, I want some of that money, and did the PlayStation Plus service or around the late stage of the PS3, the 7th gen of theirs. And then, of course, Nintendo does that with the NSO service with the Nintendo Switch. And I remember they did it to where I think it was like you signed up for it, you get like, was it 3 months or 12 months free when the Switch came out, but then you got to pay. But at least Nintendo's is relatively cheap compared to all the other plans, insofar as I got the $80 family plan with the expansion pack. It's a great deal for me and my family because it's like me, my partner, my brother, his partner, and then my my best friend and his two brothers. It's a really good overall just great deal because then you get all of the old systems up through the GameCube, and so that's cool. Anyway, with this, I'm not really like feeling the fact that this is a good deal, and in fact, this got so much backlash that Microsoft had to had to walk it back. Just like they walked back the $80 price increase that they tried for Outer Worlds 2. When I say walk it back, only in specific countries like Germany, Ireland, South Korea, new subscribers get the hike right away. And then I think that even some of the existing subscribers think that maybe they get 1 or 2 months at the existing price, $20 a month. I do see my buddy Mad Kaiser has joined in, saying howdy. Yep. He does see what I did there. But yeah, it's... I feel like chicken tonight. No, my overall thoughts on this with it being the $30 is you often see on the Xbox website that they heavily advertise games like Silksong, for example, and you of course don't see it here as much on my live feed, but Silksong is $20, and you'll see Expedition 33, that's $50, but that's 3 months of Ultimate, of the Xbox Ultimate Game Pass right there. So, but I mean, hey, you do get the Fortnite Crew Pack within that $30 and the Ubisoft Classics. So another YouTuber had said that it feels like that Microsoft just was checking boxes marketing wise with, hey, Fortnite is popular. Oh, great. And we have a good connection with Ubisoft. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and work with Epic to give them the Fork Knife Crew Pack and then the Ubisoft Classics. The problem with this is the Fork Knife Crew Pack, I don't feel like the gamers that play a lot of the games, it's not in the same Venn diagram as the Fork Knife players, because usually Fork Knife players are just playing Fork Knife. It's just that one game, maybe two. And if there's somewhat at least somewhat intelligent Call of Duty players who can at least somewhat recognize that, maybe if I do some simple math and think, okay, Call of Duty is $70 and I play Call of Duty 12 months of the year, maybe I should just buy Call of Duty once, and then that's worth 2 months of Game Pass. And then that way I can smoke noobs online and be a sexist prick. It's that kind of thinking. Like, you would hope that these individuals would realize that the Xbox Game Pass is not a good deal if you are a single game player. If you're one of the ones that takes advantage of multiple games, plus maybe, I don't know if the Fork Knife Crew Pass is transferable. Maybe you got a son or a daughter that plays Fork Knife, and okay, they use the Game Pass, and you like the classic Ubisoft games, and then you also like to play all these other different games. Maybe that would be a good deal. Or maybe if you're a big industry insider, and again, you play all these games, but just can't quite snag those review codes, then maybe that's worth it. And the Ubisoft Classics, Ubisoft constantly puts stuff on sale. So like, I apologize, guys. I don't know how many of these Ubisoft Classics are in the pass, but like, if it was 20 and Ubisoft puts a game for $5 each on their mega sales, so 5 times 20, then in about 3-4 months you're overpaying for the Ubisoft Classics just to buy all 20 games at $5 a piece. It's not a good deal in the long term, at least. And my thought on this, it goes along with the next part of Xbox that I want to talk about. It is the fact that we have been seeing the shrinkage of, they're just jumping into the cold pool, man. You jump in a cold pool, you'll experience shrinkage. No, they're experiencing true shrinkage in the retail physical space. First, it was places like Sam's Club and Costco, like those warehouse membership groups. But then it's increased to more larger stores such as Walmart, Target, and Meijer, Midwester. If you're a Midwest, I'm from the Chicago, so that's how we know Meijer. So a lot of that is dropping the Xbox products, even selling them on a discount. So like if you have a Costco membership, check online or check the physical site to see if you can snag any of that Xbox stuff if you really want it, because one of the things is that as well as the 2 price increases, it's really showing a huge challenge to the overall Xbox brand. So you're reducing the visibility at physical sites. You are showing that your brand is overly priced and expensive when you got a knowledgeable consumer, a knowledgeable video gamer, where that person, hey, I know video games, and I know Xbox is a distant third in the current video game race. And then why are they increasing their price if they want to quit the market? Or let's say you are an unknowledgeable person where you go to your local Target or your local Wally World, and you see at the physical site, you see the Switch and Switch 2 stuff, and you see the PlayStation products. And so, okay, I guess the Xbox doesn't exist anymore. That's the point. I really feel like those two, going along with the newest news that Xbox has stated that, oh, everything's getting expensive, but they're still in the hardware game. Supposedly, they have a new system coming in either 2026 or 2027 via Project Magnus. And I think this was Moore's Law is Dead, the YouTube's channel, had mentioned something like that. Moore's Law is Dead. Guys, correct me in the comments section below if I am wrong on that. If I am, then yeah, definitely like to be corrected on that. Always appreciate you guys. But yeah, part of that rule or whatnot, or that rumor rule, is the fact that newest system may not be a console as we know it. Now, I feel like since the PS4, most of the consoles that have been coming out have been almost like mini PCs in a box. The architecture has been a hell of a lot more simplified than the awful architecture that we've seen with the PS3 with the cell technology, and we're not even going to talk about the god awfulness that was the Wii, which is essentially an overclocked GameCube. No, most of the systems have been like sort of like PC-like in nature, which has been a godsend, really. Makes backwards compatibility for newer systems like the PS5 and Xbox Series 2, the PS4, and the Xbox One, makes that much easier and allows for better running programs and games and whatnot. That said, the newest system, Project Magnus, is making it sound like it's going to take an even deeper step into that territory. So imagine not only a $1,000 system from Xbox, and let's rewind a bit where I'm going to talk about the ROG Ally X. It's the Xbox and Asus ROG Ally sort of mobile PC gaming system. and it's essentially a Windows-based PC handheld, ROG Allies, except it's got all of the Xbox physicality to it, up to and including actually some pretty cool grips on it. The problem with it is the base model is $600, and the ROG Ally X is $1,000. So it's already broken the $1,000 price tag, and I'm not confident that those things are going to sell. Now, Microsoft has quickly announced that the pre-orders on their website have sold out, but I mean, if you put 20 of these for pre-sale, somebody's gonna buy out all the pre-orders, and you can say that. So I'd be more interested to see how many units they had offered and how many of those sold out, because to my knowledge, ASUS website, they still had those in the pre-orders for both the regular ROG Ally and then ROG Ally X were still in stock. Like the pre-orders were still there. So, and I think even the standard $600 one was still available on Microsoft's website. I'm mentioning that because $1,000 for the main Project Magnus type box makes sense, and there's rumors that not only is it going to be able to play Xbox games, and they're not. We don't know what that means. It could just means games from the Microsoft store that are on everybody's PC, because everything's an Xbox. So we don't have clarification that it truly means Xbox games, but there's strong rumor that it will also be able to handle other launchers like GOG, Epic, and Steam. And the idea of moving from, hey, I'm playing a game on my PC and I'm doing it through the Windows Store, and then okay, I can then move on because I'm on the Xbox Game Pass, and I can move my game from there to, all right, I'm going to sit back, relax on the couch, and continue the game on my living room setup. Like, that is an appealing idea, although the idea that you have to pay for that kind of cloud service, because, again, Xbox Cloud Gaming is a whole thing regarding gameplay, though that really is more about like playing directly off the cloud using the internet versus actually using your own PC architecture. All that said, it's interesting that could be a thing, except Valve is talking about doing their own like desktop or like console system where it can just connect to your living room TV, and look at that, it just plays right away. Now, my experience with my Steam Deck is whenever I tried to dock it using the official Steam dock, the actual physical Steam dock, it ran like ass. It was terrible. I plugged it into my 55-inch OLED TV, and I can never get the Bluetooth controller to work properly. It doesn't do the imaging, the mirroring at all really well. The dock is actually pretty slippery. It's supposed to just sit there. It doesn't dock on the bottom. It docks in through an upward cable dongle. Not a good experience. The idea that description that I had just spoke of playing on the Windows on your PC and then moving to home, that is appealing if it is a Valve-based system, a Valve-based desktop system. So that, of course, would require internet connectivity, but just for like that first shot where you just, you got to verify that the game is played. But the idea that you can have your saves on the cloud and even just continue right where you left off and move over there is great. And I'm curious to see how hard the controllers are going to be to connect to the Steam actual Steam console. I think out of all of this, out of everything with Xbox, I'm excited for the Steam Deck 2, and I'm excited for Valve's home set-top computer box, because that, to me, I like PC gaming, but I do all of my editing and everything like that with my MacBook. So that really, really limits me on the games that I can play on the PC. but not, it wouldn't with a Steam Deck, and I could always use like I've got a like a lap desk that I could always do keyboard and mouse, and then just play that on like on my lap while I'm in a living room setting. Like, to me, that's maybe what are we doing here? Maybe I'm losing the plot as to what a PC is, but because you got to have that desk and monitor and everything like that. So yeah, it overall it's really interesting. I think that this is Phil Spencer, Sarah Bondi's, all of the executives at Microsoft funneling the money, because they've been doing a lot of the money for the hardware, and they're seeing that Xbox with that isn't successful. So they're reinvesting it, funneling the money into AI, because, I mean, crap, everybody is doing that. What's left, they're going to then focus more on the software side and hopefully continue to develop great games, like being able to pay for the likes of Ninja Gaiden 4, or even you got like Indiana Jones, which is great, and then you've got all of the other properties that they own, and hopefully we find out what Toys for Bob is working on for Microsoft. My partner is hoping for more Spyro, because she loves Spyro. I'm looking for Banjo-Kazooie, because they have the pedigree, Toys for Bob, for doing Banjo-Kazooie. And again, let me know, guys, in the comments section below, if you're listening to this after the fact, your thoughts on Xbox as a software publisher, because that's exciting to me. I don't like the idea of the lack of competition, which I think things are going to get homogenized with Valve entering the set-top box, and then Xbox entering that with the set-top box. I wouldn't be surprised if the PS6 is also $1,000 to compete, but then says, hey, we're just a video game console. We're not going to run into all of these issues and errors that Valve and Microsoft is dealing with their set-top boxes, because yes, there are a ton of people moving to PC gaming, and I don't blame them. I am a big proponent for console gaming, but I do not judge others, and I don't make any judgment calls for anybody who's a PC gamer, because I think that's crap. Because if you're playing video games, and they're good games, I mean, you're my buddy. That's as simple as that. You play video games, you're my buddy, until, of course, you're going to be a butt. So yeah, PC gaming, Nintendo gaming, Xbox gaming, Sony, PlayStation gaming, don't care. You game, you're welcome on this channel. Though again, I do focus more on the jRPGs, Nintendo, and retro gaming. This is like loosely based on that because of the retro gaming piece and my experience with Xbox. I just don't know what their overall thought process. Well, I have an idea, as I mentioned, I have a good idea as to what their thought process is. It's going to be interesting to see how it's going to play out, because the future that they're planning for today in 2025, it's very clear, it was very different from what they planned in 2023 and then 2020 and so on and so forth. I could keep going. Very clear that it's different, and things change, and there's the geopolitical landscape of things change. And the idea, so that's another thing that the Microsoft, they're blaming the tariffs and whatnot for the increase of the hardware costs twice, and then yet you're gonna see like Bill Gates. I could have sworn I saw him there, but I think other CEOs at Microsoft going and kissing Trump's ring at the White House, and you're still going to see all the tech bros at front row at the inauguration for Trump's second term. Avoiding all the political pitfalls with that, I feel like the idea of them saying tariffs as the reason for the price increases is it's thin logic. Like it would make sense for any other of the companies, like Nintendo and Sony actually, especially. Nintendo's helped diversify their overall creation of the hardware out of just China, to where I think they were from China and Vietnam, and I think Sony was trying to do not just China but also China and India, whereas I think Microsoft's just still all 100% China. Oh well, that would explain the tariffs, but okay, you're gonna kiss the ring, but then you're gonna say, oh, it's because of the tariffs. No, that's specious reasoning at best. This is just the preparation for their movement into the next section of their plan. At least their plan right now is of 2025, where everything is an Xbox and set-top box via Project Magnus, or your smartphone or your PC or your toaster. Doesn't matter. Everything's going to be an Xbox. And yeah, I don't mourn the loss of the exclusivity, but I don't have any like memories of that, honestly. Like, the exclusivity of the Xbox weren't any properties that I could say with honesty that I miss beyond, I think, Halo. And even that, like, I mean, I've always got the Halo Anniversary Collection on my well, can't play it on my Steam Deck. I think the anti-cheat thing keeps Steam players off of it. And then I can't play on my Mac, and I can't play it on my PS5 or Switch 2 yet. So these are just my ramblings of the overall Xbox situation. Not looking to keep this long, not looking to make this a whole long thing. Hopefully you've enjoyed my various thoughts and whatnot. Definitely appreciate you guys hanging in there and joining, and just hope that you guys have a wonderful day.